Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 136 of the show where I recap my week. I chronicle my adventures on my journey of being an artist and a podcaster and a small business owner and trying to survive and not just destroy myself as the holidays approach. And nobody has placed an order. So, yeah, awkward. No, but been a pretty decent week. I love the cooler weather. As I've said many times the past few weeks, will not stop talking about it. Despite that, I have been sleeping like garbage. I have been feeling on edge, like I have just a short-tempered, angry, everything's annoying me kind of vibe to myself as, I exist in this world that we live in. Thankfully, it seems like good news coming out of the elections. It seems like the Democrats will be holding the House and Senate, or whatever that's called, Congress, House, Senate, all those people. Hopefully they actually do some stuff with that this time around. But thankfully, fascism has yet to get a grip on this country. And they have yet to destroy voting in a way that will make it pretty ridiculous and unnecessary. So I should be happy. I shouldn't be as on edge, but what do you want to do? I can't control it. I'm just me, man. Just saying what I am, saying how I feel. And that's what I'm feeling. That's what I am. I just want to sleep for a month. I've not been sleeping good. Hard time going to sleep, waking up a bunch, waking up way too early. But I'm still getting my stuff done. Last Sunday actually, my roommate got me a box of wine. And, as I've said a few times on this show, I stopped drinking this year. Aside from a handful of times over this past year when my roommate buys me alcohol, I have not, before this year, I drank pretty regularly. Almost daily. I would take breaks here and there. It would fluctuate the amounts. Definitely early pandemic, I was drinking very heavily. But this past year, stopped drinking, stopped smoking weed. Been the most sober I have ever been since I was like 18. And I am about to turn 42 years old in a few weeks. So even though I enjoyed the fact that I got some wine, I was craving some wine. I put planted some seeds in my roommate's head to, maybe get me a box of wine. And, I just, like, every time I drink, I'm reminded why I'm glad I don't drink anymore. Because the hangovers, not only the hangovers, obviously hangovers are bad, hangovers are worse the older you get, but also, like, I know I don't have any breaks when it comes to drinking. Like, when I start, it's just rolling down the hill. It's just when I will stop when I go to sleep, right? And I will just keep filling the glass as long as there's some there. And Monday probably started a little early. Don't remember going to sleep Monday, but Tuesday woke up super hungover, like just could barely function. It was just a horrible day altogether. I saw posts online that I don't remember posting. Thankfully, I didn't do anything too bad, and I don't know what I was thinking when I posted the things I did, but there was a point where my brain was just like the light switch of the recording device of my mind was flipped off, and I just don't remember. I was like watched a bunch of Tobe Hooper movies this week, and I think I switched over to watching something on Peacock. I think like The Beast or something like that. I was like, I knew I was drunk. I was like, I need to put something on that I can just have on, and something. What is that movie called? Actually, Love Actually. Is that right? The Christmas movie, a little problematic with the dude hitting on his friend's wife or whatever. I love that movie. And it was on, and I put it on, and it just like was in the background, not really paying attention. I've watched the movie a bunch of times, so that's why I put it on. Usually I'll put on like Seinfeld, or I'll put on The Office, or like I have background shows that I can put on, and I don't have to pay attention to them. I'm not watching them to, consume the stories. There's stuff like background shows. So put me in a good place. It probably calmed me down, and then I went to sleep at some point. But I felt like garbage all day Tuesday. Let's take a little break from the show to promote. I figured out a way on my website to offer prints for every single painting. So if you go to a painting, you can buy the original painting, or you can buy a print for everything. Artwork that you don't want to spend $100 plus on, 9 by 12 inch ink painting on paper, $100 for the original one-of-a-kind piece of artwork. Paintings range in price depending on their size. The 8 by 10 print, $20. Available in the store at inspireddisorder.com. And now let's get back to the show. But, which thankfully Monday, I think I was kind of celebrating because Monday I filled out my voting ballot, right? They get mailed in California, they get mailed. So you don't have to, first time I've ever voted in a midterm, and, voted. The one thing, I mean, getting the ballot in the mail, amazing. Would have been a nightmare going to a voting place and having to try and do research while voting, while standing in somebody's garage staring at a list of names. Because there were a lot of people during the midterms, right? There's a lot of local elections, like there was the La Quinta mayor, there's some city council members, there's like these people that are going for districts. I did my research. Like I feel like I need to make the right decisions, right? I don't want to accidentally vote for a fascist, right? That would be horrible. Would hate to do that. And one thing I noticed is that trying to do research is like an issue. It is, or do research on candidates or some of the propositions. There should be a nonpartisan. Just like go to this website, it will describe these people, give me a synopsis on all of the candidates, local, all the way up, right? I would just like a dream app. Here's my app for voting, right? Which of course people will complain. Maybe it works, maybe it does exist. But my dream app would be you load the app up, right? On your ballot, a little QR code or a little identification number. You take a picture of the QR code or you type in the ID number, and it will know all of the options on the ballot. It will give you a breakdown of what it means if you vote yes, what it means if you vote no, what this candidate stands for, what this candidate stands for, what this candidate stands for, who's endorsing these candidates. Right? Because there's some people that, like, people going for judge positions and things, or different types of, like, there was an auditor who was endorsed by this super corrupt sheriff, right? Who keeps getting elected. Well-known corruption, as most police departments are. But once I found that, I was like, oh, okay, you're endorsed by that guy. Nope. Going with your opponent. But I would love that. That would be like that would make it so much easier. Just like I want to do the research. I want to know. So if there's like a nonpartisan app that does that, right? I don't want an app that's like the Truth Social voting app helper thing, right? Or I guess that would be good because it would everyone it would like recommend. I would just vote the other way mostly, but that was my biggest headache. It's why I waited up until Monday to fill it out. because Tuesday was voting day, or the end of voting, really. And so I made sure to get it done Monday, and I did all the research. Thankfully, I was able, we have phones, access to Google. I can look stuff up, so at least there was some stuff. But like a lot of the local stuff, like I didn't know. I had to read through opinions of like 4 people who were trying to become the mayor of La Quinta, and it's like they all kind of say the same thing, right? You kind of look for like, there's definitely people you can tell who are conservative. They use certain dog whistle words. So that kind of helps weed out the people that I'm not going to vote for. But it's like, man, I don't know what these people stand for. Like, they're all kind of saying generic things that a politician would say. So that was my big, like, there needs to be, like, let's make voting fucking easy, man. Right? Make an official government voting app. Right? In the app itself, you click and select who you're voting for, right? Print out official ballot for your receipts, right? Mail that in, confirmation, whatever, right? Like you do your taxes, right? Do all your stuff on the app and then print out for your copies. But in the app, you could have all of the breakdowns built in. Just do that. Do that. Oh, you live here. Boom, here's your thing. Vote on these issues. Oh, this is what this issue is. This is what this issue is. Great. Thank you. Boom, boom, boom. I've done my due diligence as a citizen of this country, of this city, of this state. I voted for who I think should be. I've participated in democracy. Thank you for making it so effortless. I can't imagine, I'm used to California, right? I can't imagine what it's like for the people in states that have to wait in lines that are like they're going on the Matterhorn at Disneyland, right? They're waiting in these lines for like 10 hours in order to get faced with a ballot that is that ridiculously confusing. I mean, that makes sense why people leading up to it, they're all like, make a plan, know what you're doing. It's like, well, clearly it's very important for people that have to jump through all kinds of hoops to vote. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I hate waiting in line for like groceries, right? Items that are necessary for human life. I don't like waiting in line. If I'm in a grocery store and there's long lines at the registers, I'll just walk around the store for a while until the lines die down. I just hate spending my life in line for anything. I hate it. So to do that for to vote is gotta be the biggest pain in the ass, especially in states where it's like they're clearly designed that way because they don't want you to vote. But anyway, I voted. Pat myself on the back, got my little sticker, didn't put it on. I put it in my little notebook, as I do, with all of my notes on this page. For every episode has a page. Rayz Dayz, episode 136, I voted sticker, wrote on there, wish voting research was easier. Ridiculous. So I did, despite my mood, despite getting all those things done, despite my severe hangover Tuesday, was able, still ahead on stuff, haven't finished updating my website to offer prints easily for all 2,000 paintings. But I did start doing stuff for the podcast to make sure it's available on all the different podcast apps. Most of the time, that stuff just kind of automatically gets dispersed. But I've gone through, I found a blog that had all them listed and have kind of gone through. And part of that list was to add your podcast to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, which I started to do, have not finished, and is a very complex situation, very similar to voting, where you're filling out a bunch of stuff, and I'm on a third, I'm close to being done, I think. And for whatever reason, I can't get past this one page. So I kind of just gave up on it yesterday. I'll try again next week. But fingers crossed, by the time this episode comes out, there will be a Ray Taylor Show IMDb page, which in turn will mean that I will have an IMDb page as well, which will be interesting. It'll be exciting, right? Means nothing, but it'll be exciting. Have some trivia, some Ray Taylor Show trivia for people that may not know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So fingers crossed I'm able to successfully get that done, especially by the time this episode comes out. Let's take a little break from the show to promote the benefits of Inspired Disorder Plus. So you go inspireddisorder.com/plus. Sign up, $5 a month. You get to binge the full week of the Ray Taylor Show ad-free. You get to watch all of the live painting videos I do. You get a special members-only discount and deals for all of the artwork and merch that I sell. You also get the complete podcast back catalog of every podcast I've ever produced, hundreds of episodes, countless different podcasts. You also get access to my personal blog. A new blog comes out every week. In addition to that, you get my creative writing that I'm releasing. You also get access to Asking Me Anything. 14 years of experience podcasting. I've been creating art my entire life. I've been using Photoshop since middle school, and you can contact me to ask me questions about that or anything else. So those are the benefits for signing up for Inspired Disorder Plus. And now let's get back to the show. Other than that, I've been planning we're like halfway through as I record this. It's November 13th. So I'm planning through Thanksgiving, planning through the month of December for this show, specifically top 5. I've been trying to get ahead, planning ahead for top 5 because it requires me to watch a ton of movies to do all these rankings. And similarly to October, where I did a bunch of horror film reviews and horror film top 5 lists, as I've kind of continued to do this week, ends with Tobe Hooper. And then I'm kind of transitioning to what will be Thanksgiving weekend releases, top 5, and then separate Christmas-related releases like 90s, my top 5 90s Christmas movies, my top 5 classic Christmas movies, my top 5 A Christmas Carol remake movies, and also Star Trek is available, which I've never seen any of the original Star Trek movies, and they're all currently available on some service that I have. I don't remember if it's HBO Max or possibly Peacock. Either way, I have access to it, and I definitely would love to watch all of the original Star Trek movies. So I'll do it just mixed in. Sometime in December, there's going to be a top 5 Star Trek movies. I'm going to do top 5 New Year's movies. So I've kind of planned out at least the top 5, what I'm going to be doing for the next month and a half. And then the movie reviews are just kind of easy. Whatever is available in that time. So kind of did some planning for that. So other than that, that's pretty much been my week. Not bad, not horrible. Got some forward movement on some projects that are outside of the normal stuff I'm working on. Trying to promote the fact that I have prints available, trying to promote the fact that I am a independent artist, self-made artist, small business owner. Holidays are coming up. I'm trying to encourage people who know me personally to spend money in my store, to support a person, a human being you know physically in real life that actually is running a small business, that is an artist, that is trying to make a living, trying to literally survive. I'm trying to encourage those people who know me to go to inspireddisorder.com and purchase anything. Gift card, print, original artwork, t-shirt, subscription to Inspired Disorder Plus. Anything would be amazing and would at least make it so my life is validated in some meaningful, small speck of a way. And yet has not. Nobody has. But I'm trying to do more promotion of that as we get closer to the time where everybody loves to spend money, and hopefully somebody would love to spend some money on an artist, right? Did you cry when those climate activists threw stuff on famous paintings, right? Take that energy and put it into an actual artist that's still alive. With all of that said, before I go down any more negative alleyways and paths of thought, as I like to end all of these episodes, started fairly recently, I want to highlight something that I am thankful for. Small, big, large, complex, doesn't matter. Just at least one thing that I'm thankful for every week, every episode of Rayz Dayz. And this week, I am thankful for candles. And it's a simple thing, but it's something that I really only enjoy when the weather starts to cool off. I mean, candles, when it's 120 degrees outside, just seems super contradictory. But when it's cooler, I love candles. Give me a scented candle. Give me a soy candle. Give me a non-scented white pillar candle. I don't care. I love them all. Last year, I purchased in bulk pillar candles from Amazon. They're like 8 inches, 9 inches tall, like four inches wide, long burning. I just love having a little flame, have that candle lit while I'm working, or at night, having that little candle light, right? Provides a little bit of light, provides a little bit of heat. I love the idea of these candle radiate heaters that people make, the DIY heaters where you put like a clay pot on top and it heats your room. I don't have a heater this time of year. Kind of just doesn't really matter. It gets cold for like a week, and in the mornings it's a little chilly. At night I have blankets, so I haven't needed a heater, but you know, the idea of having a warm room and would be nice. So it's like, you know, the versatility of candles, and also just the idea of fire, the flame, how simple it is, how like powerful it is, how destructive it can be. And also having a candle lit, besides providing a little ambiance for the space, instead of just providing maybe changing the aroma of the room with a scented candle. But candles are great if you're a smoker, like you smoke weed in any way. I used to smoke weed all the time. Still love weed. Just don't have the money to afford it. And also kind of started making me paranoid. But hemp wicks or just a joint, you put the tip of the joint in the candle, light it off the candle, perfect. You don't need lighters. Don't need any of that stuff. Or a hemp wick. Hemp wick's great, especially if you're smoking out of a pipe or a bong or whatever. I love it. Either way, super convenient to have a candle and then a little spool of hemp wick. Perfect. You feel like an outdoorsman, right? Outdoorsman weed smoker. And then also, you know, what I do light, incense sticks, right? Maybe don't have a scented candle, which I don't. Cheaper to buy the pillar candles, but I have plenty of incense. I love incense. Lighting some sticks of incense off a candle, super easy, super convenient. I love it. All of that stuff, super thankful for candles, the invention, the idea, the practicality, and just the source of life it brings, especially during a time of year where it gets dark sooner, it's cooler. Having that little flame, right? Having a fireplace is nice, but always, you know, maybe a little bit too much, especially if you're alone, you have a little studio, it's just you and your dog. Having a little candle is amazing. What it can do to change a mood, whether it's by yourself or with loved ones. Candles are amazing. So I this week am very thankful for candles. And at one point, thought about making candles to sell because I do love candles. And I was like, well, maybe I should make them. And then never really got into it. But you never know. Maybe someday down the road I will. But yeah, this week I am thankful for candles. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know on social media what you are thankful for. Would love to hear it. And hope everybody has a good week. And I'll talk to you again next week.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out. much.
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can